$3 million in revenue last year, and Mike could not pay his own salary. I'm talking about a residential contractor with 15 jobs running simultaneously, booked solid for the next 4 months, and he's checking his bank balance every Friday like it's a lottery ticket. That doesn't make sense, right? The crazy part is that by the end of this video, I'll show you the exact system that took Mike from cash strapped to $70,000 in reserves in just 60 days, and why 80% of contractors making over $1 million are making the same deadly mistakes that almost killed his business. So stick around because this could save your company. Let me tell you about Mike, and honestly, he could be any of you watching right now. Successful residential contractor in Colorado, great reputation in his market, team of 12 solid guys who have been with him for years. Booked out for months with waiting lists growing every week. So from outside, yeah, you're absolutely crushing it. But here's what was happening behind closed doors. Every Friday was torture. Payroll is coming up on Monday, and he's moving money between accounts like he's playing musical chairs. Credit lines maxed out at $75,000. The owner draws just to pay his mortgage and keeps his family afloat, all while his bookkeeper keeps sending him reports saying that the business is profitable. Sounds like anyone you know? Mike's wife started asking the hard questions that keep contractors up at night. If we're so successful, why can't we take a vacation? Why are you stressed every single weekend? Why does our profitable business feel like we're always one step away from being broke? You know what makes this worse? Mike thought this was completely normal. He'd tell himself, revenue's good, we're busy, this must just be growing pains. But when he dug into his numbers and he found something that absolutely shocked him, $100,000. That's how much money was hiding in plain sight in Mike's business, miscategorized as overhead when it should have been direct job costs. Think of it like this. Imagine McDonald's counting their burger ingredients as general business expenses instead of the cost of goods sold. They think they're making 80% profit on every Big Mac when they're actually losing money on every single burger they serve. Well, that's exactly what's happening to Mike. His bookkeeper, who seemed competent enough, was dumping material costs, subcontractor payments, and direct labor hours into overhead accounts. That made his job profitability reports look like healthy when they weren't even close to reality. Job reports showing 35% margins when the real margin was closer to 8%. Here's a real example from one of his kitchen remodels. The job was supposed to make $15,750 in profit on a $45,000 contract, but when we properly tracked every expense, the actual profit was $1350. That's 97% difference between what he thought he was making and what he actually made. This is where most contractors kill their cash flow without even knowing it. Mike was taking owner draws based on what fake profitability he had. $40,000 in draws over 3 months. It's like spending money from your credit card thinking it's coming from your checking account. Every single draw was literally stealing from his working capital. Plus, he had zero cash forecasting in place. He was flying completely blind, taking any job that walks through the door because revenue is good, not knowing if he could actually afford to complete the work without running out of cash. Here's what that looked like in reality. Let me give you 3 quick examples. Job number 1 was a kitchen remodel with a $45,000 contract. It looked profitable on paper with a 32% margin. Reality after proper categorization, a 3% margin with an actual profit of $1350. Job number 2 was a bathroom addition, $62,000 contract. It had 28% margin on paper, but in reality, he lost $4,200 on that job. Job number 3 was a deck rebuild for $28,000. Paper profit showed 31% margin. He actually made $700. 15 running jobs, only 12 were actually making money. 3 jobs were actively losing cash every single day. No wonder he was always scrambling to cover expenses. No wonder Friday felt like Russian roulette. The business looked successful from every angle except the one that mattered most, which is actual cash in the bank. I started working with Mike as his CFO, and here's exactly what we did to turn Mike's situation around. And you can apply every single step to your business starting today. Step number 1, we fixed his books completely. Every material cost, every hour of labor, every subcontractor payment, properly categorized by specific job. No more dumping random expenses into overhead accounts. We used QuickBooks with job costing turned on properly for the first time. This wasn't rocket science, but it requires discipline and attention to detail. Suddenly, Mike could see which jobs were actually profitable and which ones were killing his cash flow. Step number 2, we built a 12-week rolling cash flow forecast. Think of it as a weather radar for your money. You can see the financial storms coming weeks ahead and plan accordingly. No more Friday morning surprises when you check your bank. Here's what Mike's forecast looked like in real numbers. Week 1 and 2 show $23,000 cash coming in, but $31,000 going out. That's a problem that needed immediate attention. Week 3 and 4 showed the big payment due from the Johnson project that would provide relief. Week 5 and 6 showed 3 major material orders due, creating another cash crunch. We used a simple Excel template that takes 15 minutes to update every Monday morning. Mike now starts every week knowing exactly where his cash stands for the next 3 months. Step number 3, we stopped the financial bleeding. 2 planned hires that would have cost $6,000 per month in wages and benefits, we paused those for now. The new work track lease for $850 a month, that seemed like a good idea at first. We delayed it until cash flow stabilized. Marketing spend that wasn't being tracked to actual job acquisitions, cut by 60% until we could measure the return on investment. Because, sometimes the best business decision is what you choose not to do. Step number 4, we implemented the cash rule. No new job gets started without 50% deposit in a bank. No exceptions, no matter how good the customer seems. And change orders get paid before any additional work begins. Progress payments get tied to actual completion milestones, not arbitrary calendar dates. This single change improved cash flow by $18,000 in the first month alone. Step 5, we created real job profitability reports. Every Thursday afternoon, Mike gets a 1-page report showing exactly which jobs are on track, which jobs are bleeding money, and where every dollar went. Knowledge is power when it comes to managing cash flow. Step number 6, we established weekly financial check-ins. Every single Monday morning, Mike spends 30 minutes reviewing his cash position. Every Friday afternoon, he reviews job profitability. This consistent routine prevents small problems from becoming cash flow disasters. So within 60 days, Mike's entire business transformed. He went from financial stress to genuine financial freedom. Mike didn't really need to make more money. He didn't need to find new customers. He didn't need to work longer hours. He just needed to manage the money that he was already making. That's the difference between building a business and building yourself a really hard, expensive job. But here's what really makes me so happy about my story. This wasn't some complicated MBA strategy that requires years of business school. This wasn't expensive software or hiring high-priced consultants. This was basic business fundamentals that every single contractor can implement. The tools we used were very simple. QuickBooks that he already owned, an Excel spreadsheet for cash flow tracking, and a Thursday reporting routine, and a cash rule for new work. Total cost to implement these systems was $0. Total investment, a couple hours a week. Return on investment, $70,000 in cash reserves, plus a peace of mind. So do the math on that return. Mike now makes decisions like a business owner instead of someone who's drowning in financial chaos. He can say no to customers who don't respect his payment terms. He can invest in better equipment that makes his crews more efficient. He can pay his people well and keep them happy, which reduces turnover. And most importantly, he can actually take a vacation without his phone blowing up with cash flow emergencies. Revenue is a vanity metric that makes you feel good. Cash flow is your reality that determines whether you survive and make it work. If my story sounds familiar and you want to know exactly where your cash is going and when it's coming back, then it's time to take action. Your future self will thank you for taking action today. Remember, you didn't get into this business to stress about money every Friday night. You got into this business to build something very meaningful. So let's build it the right way. See you in the next video.